So for my first video, I'd like to introduce you to my studio. I use my apartment as my studio also, just because it's cost effective. I can't justify commuting to a separate area and paying rent there also. I'm very lucky to have a very understanding wife who allows me to use the living room and dining room as a place where I can do my artwork also. I use gray curtains, mainly for nostalgic reasons. I mean, I can tell you it's because it's a neutral gray and the colors look better off of it, but the truth is, psychologically, it takes me back to when I was in school full-time, studying full-time, and it brings me to that happy place, which is why I also painted the room gray. So, as you can see, all the walls are gray. And the first thing you'll notice is the natural light in the room. I mainly like to work with natural light. I will work with artificial light. I guess I'll start from the entrance towards the back. So up here, you can see that I do have artificial light set up. Okay, that's a lot better. So that's just my overhead room light, the living room light, I guess. This is very convenient light. It's attached to the wall, and it's got all these pivot points where I can just tighten it, loosen it, and bring the light up and down. And I can extend it, bring it down, and I can get it out of the way, which is what I love. If this were a normal tripod on the floor, it would be taking up floor space, and that's really inconvenient. These barn doors are very helpful. This is an LED light. I can turn it from warm to cool, anywhere between, I think, 1800 Kelvin to 55 or 5600 Kelvin, which is cool. Pretty much daylight, or as close to daylight as I can make it. If I were painting a still life, it's usually in this area where my ladder is. I have a painting of a guitar and maracas. That's where it was set up, right there. So this is where we came in through. As you can see, I have a lot of motivational art, prints of art, of friends, of instructors, of shows I've been to. I've got a prop of a sword, museum shows, This is a cast of my brother's back, actually. A life cast for a future drawing. There's one of a female behind this curtain. I try to keep my easels and my tools off the floor, so that's an easel. That's a chair. These canes, I use them as mahl sticks. Helps with the fatigue of holding a mahl stick and a palette in the same hand. Not really using this door, so it's full of other inspirational pictures, paintings, studies. They're not all mine. Like the one, the yellow there, it's a classmate of mine. And more tools. So I've got my easel up there, I've got my mahl sticks on the left. Pictures of friends and happy times. This has been very helpful. On it, I catalog, or I categorize, I keep track of how much time I spend painting and drawing. So, I've recently come back from traveling. I was visiting my parents in Puerto Rico. But now that I'm back, I gotta start filling this out. So for example, today's February 10th. I'll write down that I shot video at the studio. And if I do any artwork today or tomorrow, whatever, I'll write down painted a grisaille from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And this calendar helps keep my art flow it holds me accountable. I can see at face value real quickly if I've been working or not. This is just a normal work chest, tool chest that I appropriate for my tools. So my tools are oil paint. My tools are drawing stumps, erasers, measuring sticks. Very convenient way to store my tools, my instruments. And beneath it, I've got a very large flat file cabinet where I keep other tools. I've got my clipboard, paper, photocopies of my drawings, actual drawings. I've been looking for this. I'm gonna put it here. This is a piece of glassine and it goes in between my sketchbook pages and it prevents the wet paint in my sketchbook from sticking to the other pages. More studies, drawings, and this is just a drawer of different surfaces to paint on. That file cabinet is its own video, I think. we'll go through some other time. There's a bunch of bags of lighting equipment, photography equipment, frames. Very uncomfortable stool. Gotta have my coffee. And that's a very comfortable chair. I like it because it's almost, when I sit on it, I'm almost the same height as I am when I stand. So it doesn't change the point of perspective when I sit on it. So you can kind of see my height compared to the back, and maybe it goes down 2 inches at most. When I really need it to be exact, I'll just stick a 2x4 or several 2x4s at the base to keep my eye level exact. It's pretty close, I think. I wish it had armrests for those extra fatigue days. Got my plants. And that's not a color wheel. For those of you that don't know what that is, that's a chroma wheel. So it shows how far from neutral a color can get. So how saturated in color a specific color can get. And these are just pieces of wood that I like to put in my paintings for my still lifes. Just pictures of my wife and I, my brother and I, or just my brother. Some books. I jerry-rigged some cans that help hold my brushes. I found them stacking them vertically takes up the less amount of floor space. That's a common theme with me, floor space. My studio's in New York, so the apartment is not very big, so I try to keep things off the floor. My easel is a hybrid of things. Pretty complicated. Probably deserves its own video also. But looking at it really quickly, this is my setup. And I'll come around in a second to it. So I stand here, look at my setup, I paint, or I draw, whatever I'm doing. I'll pull my brushes towards me, so easy access. I like keeping my palette next to my paint, my surface. So as you can see here, quite quickly, that's a drawing that I did of that cast, and now I'm going to start a painting of it. My bookshelf, a sculpture I did when I was in school, a couple of palettes back there behind the curtain. T-square curtains to regulate how much light comes in. Where I put my garbage. That's my surface. So I hang some of my paints to keep them at hand. That's it. That is one part of my studio.